Who is the most dangerous team right now that no one is talking about? And when I say no one is talking about them, preferably not somebody that was in the committee's top 16, ideally not a team that is ranked right now. But who are you looking at right now, Fanta, as someone that can make a run? Because I got a team right now, and if you steal mine, I'm going to be very upset.
I'm gonna can we let you go first, Doster? Because I always seem like I steal yours.
So go ahead, Rob.
Well, yeah, you go first.
I'm going with the Creighton Blue Jays, who are now sitting at 10-5 in the Big East. They've won 5 in a row, 6 of the last 7. In that stretch, they have a win at UConn. They are actually playing defense this year. They are a top 30 team in defensive efficiency. They have the big fella Ryan Kalkbrenner inside that allows him to kind of get out and play and pressure on the wings. They have a freshman point guard that is not playing like a freshman point guard in Ryan Nembhard. Ryan Hawkins, stud. They have guys that can make shots around the perimeter. I do think that they are you've made this point before, T.O., where you say teams that are a year away or teams that are young, by the time you get to the end of the season, they should be getting close to what you want them to be at the start of the year, right?
Yeah.
And I think that with Creighton, we've kind of gotten to this point. And if you're going to tell me I can get a team with a really, really good point guard, with playmakers on the perimeter, and with a couple different guys that can go and win a game on their own, plus a 5-man in the middle that is going to be able to create some kind of defensive stability at the rim, those are the teams that I think can be dangerous in March. Now, there's times when they can't really score, and sometimes it gets a little bit ugly offensively for them. But I do think that they have players that can win one-on-one matchups by themselves. And would I be surprised to see Creighton as a 12 seed ride a 30-point performance from Ryan Hawkins and then a 28-point, 8-assist performance from Ryan Nembhard into the Sweet 16? No, I wouldn't. That is a dangerous basketball team. Who do you guys have?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Iowa. I was really impressed with what they did Saturday at Ohio State, and I just think that Keegan Murray is one of the best players in the country that unfortunately doesn't lead Big Ten headlines because there's also it's a league where Johnny Davis is playing. It's a league where Kofi Cockburn is playing. And so as a result, I don't think that he gets loved the way that maybe he could. But here's the thing. Fran McCaffrey has a terrific pedigree and has won a lot of games. You give him a star player, the calendar's about to turn. I think that they're a team that could end up being in that 7, 8, 9, 10 type of range on a bracket. Where do you have them? Around that range, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
They have a ridiculous run-in to the end of their season. They play Michigan State at home, at Nebraska, Northwestern at home, but then they end with at Michigan and at Illinois. So they're going to have a chance to be able to play themselves into a spot where they're like potentially a 4, 5, 6 kind of a deal.
So there you go. There you go. This is a team that has a couple of advantageous games ahead. I like them at home against Michigan State. Michigan State's half-court offense right now is very, very inconsistent. So I would actually sit with Iowa more than I would with Michigan State. Iowa proved something to me over the weekend, getting a quadrant 1 win at Ohio State. I know that they get knocked because they don't have many quad 1 wins, but I like the fact that they have that star power. I think they've reinvented the way that they play this year. It's a little bit different. I like their spacing. Offensively, they're a team that moves the basketball well, makes things happen. And maybe by flying under the radar a little bit, Iowa's better off than the role that they had going into last year's tournament where they had every eyeball because they had Luka, and that really backfired, and it backfired quickly. It did not go well for them. So a team that if they were a 7, Terrence, and you're the 2 that has to play them on the first weekend, you're sitting there thinking, man, we got to face this kid already. He's a superstar, and he can light it up. He can go off for 30 in this game, and I wouldn't bat an eye. So I'm going to go with the Fighting France. I'll give Iowa some love here.
We're going Big Ten heavy because I had 2 teams that I thought both could do damage in the tournament, and one of which you mentioned, Michigan State. I think them playing in the Big Ten hurts them a little bit because the style they would like to play a little bit faster. And I think in the NCAA tournament, they're physical enough that they're going to be able to give teams from other conferences a lot of trouble. I think that's a team that can make the second weekend because of their size around the perimeter, their wings, and their guards could be just good enough. They just have to exist. And you saw a little bit of what Walker can do whenever he gets ahead of steam and plays pretty well. But the team that I'm excited to see what they do. in the NCAA tournament because I think their style of play is conducive to the NCAA tournament. And I'm going to stay in the same league, but Rutgers, my favorite vacation destination, Piscataway. Like that's it right there. Look, the way they play, Peichel is going to have those guys scouted up for the tournament. Ron Harper's a go-to scorer. Geo Baker's finally healthy, and they've gotten really good minutes from Paul Mulcahy. Those guys are tough as nails. They have some rim protection with Amorie. That's a good team, and they're pretty unselfish, and they do a nice job. They do some similar things that Villanova does with Gillespie, with Mulcahy. And if he can't get anywhere because he's not overly quick, he can't really get to the bucket, but he turns around and backs him down and he can see over the defense because what is he? He's about 6'5", 6'6". I don't know what exactly he is, 6'6". So he can see over the defense. So they can work around that. That is a tough bunch. They have an excellent head coach and they have just enough athletes. And this is after losing 2 studs to the West Coast.
Yeah. Imagine what they would be if they had Miles Johnson and Jacob Young right now.
Yep.
They probably wouldn't have lost to Lafayette at home. I'll tell you that much.